All right, traders. Hey, welcome on back here this Monday, January 26th. Great to have all of us though back here inside our live trading room. Grant and Drea. Saw Bill just before. William C, I should say. We also got Bill just joining us, as well as Jerry. Got Uday, Brian, Uma. You got all of us just joining us back here. Perfect. Now, if you're also on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, etc., popping up lower left, we got to be quick. But at Cyber Trading U, why do we have to be quick? We do have our phase 2 class coming on up this afternoon. Rich just posted that link there just right above in our chat board inside our live trading room. Who's going to be joining me in class coming up this afternoon? If you're a phase 2 student here, just give me a quick chat right now. Let me know if you got me for the class. There we go. From Steve, Sharon, Deb, James, or Jim rather, I should say. There's Bill and Margaret. Perfect. And all of us here otherwise. Excellent. Love to see that. Now, keep in mind, if you're a trial member testing our room out for this week, enjoy your time here. This is kind of like a litmus test to see, is this something that is compatible with me as a trader? Is this something that I could see myself doing? Is this even possible? But as a student, well, this is definitely necessary for you to just take part and just join right away, because this is more of our intermediate class. If you're a trial member just testing our room out here, then definitely talk to your education advisor. They're the intermediary between you and Fausto, you and myself, right, Bill? And with that, you could just see, actually, you got to move that little finger down there, huh? There we go. Coming on up this afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern, our next class, Trade Targets and Expectations. That's within the Phase 2 stock course. And then we'll continue these classes this week for our students on Friday the 30th, right? 30th? Yeah. So the 30th, this Friday, we'll wrap up with lessons 3 and 4 with that. But let's hop right to it here, because if you're not joining us for class ahead, there could still be a good market for you. You might have a great market to trade with heading into the final 80 minutes, 85 minutes to go here. So, SPY's at the high of the day, needless to be said there, because look at the chart. But that's just where we're saying from Traders Talk, we went over at least the short-term game plan here, as it has been the game plan, but just from a couple of weeks ago, we had that big gap and we filled it. And it's great. We're going back up again, back over their said level. But this might end up getting tested as support. Let's say if we have like some negative reaction off the Fed. So I wouldn't say that we're fully, good to go to break new all-time highs yet. Let's just make sure that this could hold as support tomorrow, Wednesday, and then, I think that we should be good from there, right? Because fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, also shame on you. How dare you? Maybe a third time, finally, shame on me. Meaning, this was good resistance, wasn't it? Figure it would be good support. So, maybe tomorrow, Wednesday, if there is some downside here, as long as this stays as support, we're looking pretty good. Now, what we'll just do, though, briefly, though, here, just go right from top to bottom, build up our watch list for the afternoon. Stocks like BATL, done. Stocks like BNAI, apparently not done. BNAI, holy smokes, this thing is back on the up and up again. So this had a big run Friday afternoon. Andrea, a few of us did pretty damn nice on this trade. Got a few different emails and chats even as of this morning. So this was just a short squeeze. Not our first time trading this stock, because back like a few weeks ago, it was like $3, $5. Intermittently, we would be calling it out here and there. But whatever happened on Friday afternoon, the shorts got destroyed. They got beat up bad, right? Say a few more things there. So for right now, just, hey, it's going up. I like that part of it. I'm not fully sure if this is just going to keep blasting new highs as effortlessly as it did on Friday afternoon. Look at the spread. Actually, that's all you really can see. The spread. That's like the only thing you could see. There's like nothing out there on the entire book as far as I show it. So this is a category 5 stock. I would not necessarily want, new students or inexperienced traders trying to trade this thing. If you're looking to just try and poke at it for a little while, do it on tiny size, reduce share size by, 10x, basically. So, or make like a tenth of a size. I think that there could be better opportunity should this resistance break on SLGB. Better book, obviously a bit cheaper there in terms of the price, but at least you could see some orders for right now. If it fails to move up higher here and break resistance, then no deal. It's just a good setup for right now, kind of pinning up against resistance from this morning. I'll put it on our watch list though. I have no problem just adding this trade to our list. Start off on it, SLGB. I feel like we traded this thing recently, didn't we? If we go back on the daily chart. Yeah, here we go. So this is today's candle. Look what happened on, what was it, Wednesday? Wednesday last week. Just crazy pre-market action. Went all the way up here overnight into the pre-market. We did well on it as a pre-market trade, but obviously came crumbling back down. This is the move. Same move. So it needs to break that resistance, but we'll put it on our watch list, right? DRMA, pop and drop. We're familiar with that trade, so no surprise there. Kit definitely holding up pretty nicely, so we're going to add the Kit trade to our list. Kind of put this number 1 for now. But yeah, looking pretty strong. I like the move here. More of a category 1 type of trade, category 1 or 2. Tight spread. I don't think this will open up too bad just yet. It does have some big orders, though, at a lot of these prices, not just at the 149, 150, but you do have larger orders around 140 also, 135 also. A bunch of flat trades here. That NOM trade was pretty good. NAMM, just want to show the graph here. This was a decent little pre-market trade going into the open. Then it still made a better move at least, before 10 o'clock, going into reversal time there. 10:15, 10:24, pretty much hit high of the day then. RKLB down. That's the ETF that goes up. So this we're probably going to, we're going to find this on the loser side here. So I don't mind just putting this on our list for the time being, just kind of stumbling upon the short and also the inverse, the RKLZ. This goes up when the stock goes down. So if you can't short, then this would actually be a decent alternative. And it's up and down a lot respectively, so we got to add it. Quantum also getting beat up bad here today also. So IO and Z just broke a new high, which equates to IO and Q breaking a new low. I think there was some news out on them this morning. They bought some big company out. They made a pretty big, large transaction. I don't know if it's a sector-wide play where Quantum's just weak, but I know that there was news out on IO and Q purchasing another company out. So when that happens, I mean, the stock price typically does drop, so it's not surprising. I guess it is sector-wide because here's QBTS, QBTZ. All right, we don't need to focus on every quantum out there, just the ones that are up the most, moving the best, that's all. USAR making lower highs. I reckon it could be a decent short if it were to break lower, but I think that we're just done with that trade for today. There's too much, momentum on the upside for me to even think about shorting it. I'm just more the type that's going to wait to see support develop next and then, take my next move. So this was a great swing trade from a little while back. Fausto got out. I think Fausto got out on this early this morning, but he definitely got out on silver. But otherwise, though, for right now, we'll move on to other trades. Even greener pastures. Even greener. Zoom. Hey, there we go. Big Zoom guy here. All the coaching, right? So with that said, ZM, nice little move up today. Oh, nice little squeeze back up here. This thing's been getting beat up for a little while. Fausto's tuning in right now. I hope he is, because this, I think, is something that'd be up his alley. Like, definitely his forte. He loves bobbing fishing. So yeah, this Zoom trade breaking out from a little channel here. It looks like it did it this morning, mind you, but it's at the high of the day right now. Nice trade. I'll put it on our list, probably towards the back side, and you got to wait to see this flip into support ultimately for a swing trade. But Chris near the high of the day, Coherus Oncology, that's the company name there. IOVA up a tiny amount today, nothing too impressive. Apple at the high of the day, so that's nice. That kind of trickles into the whole SPY at the HOD right now. So AAPU is up technically 6.6%. GameStop's been getting some love. GameStop, not necessarily for me. Just want to point that out. Let it be known, if there's any love from GameStop, it is not from me. I am not a big GameStop guy. I've been teased by this in the past. I think pretty much all of us have, at least since 2020. Everyone's looking for the next big short squeeze on GameStop. I was, at least at one point, going into, I think it was the beginning of 24. I think it was the beginning of 24, maybe just the beginning of 25. Just didn't happen. So what happened since that point? Lower highs. It never really broke a lower low, I reckon. Kind of keeps us roped back in as a tease. At least today, right? At least today, it's closer to the high of the day than it is from where it had opened up. It's up over 5%. Again, another stock I'll just add to our list. I would love for the stock to prove something to me. That's all I'll say there. You got a sick cult out there online that has just been talking about GameStop since 2021. And I can't imagine how little money they have to their name at this point, because there's just been so much that's been going up instead of GameStop. I would love to see it. Hey, would love to see it. I'm not necessarily a hater, but I am absolutely not a believer yet. Prove me wrong. Would love to see it. Let's hop over to the loser side, though, right now. This definitely, I don't know what it's trying to prove, but we're not going to put this on our list. I don't know what that one's proven, but a lot of these trades now are washed up. It's hard to borrow here. METC. This actually looks like a decent trend. Decent short trend there. Here's a metals company getting beat up right now. So TMC, the metals company, perhaps a lot of sell-off maybe. People loading into USAR thinking like, all right, well, they got the big investment from Trump and this one didn't. I mean, maybe that's a thought. I don't know. And pulled back today. It's at support here. It's a little bit closer to the lows from where it had opened up. So I don't mind actually putting this on our list as a potential short. It does have some damn nice resistance. 814-ish. I mean, if that acts as resistance going forward, then that can lead to a nice drop off again. But if it gets back up and above this 814 in due time, I would be a fan of that. I'd be a fan of a swing trade if this can reclaim that 814 as support. We'll get back to that over time there. I mean, if you want me to put it on the main list, let's just see what else is looking better. Light Path here actually looking much better here as a short. It's easy to borrow. It's breaking below little wicks here and definitely from back in middle of January here. So I would assume next support on this would be down at 10. Yeah, that's right. That's also the news there. Who wrote that? I just went back there for a second. Mike, I'm sorry. So Mike wrote his namesake right there. Mike Burry bought GameStop reported. Yeah, he put that in his Discord. Can you believe that? I mean, I'll tell you what, if I ever get to the amount of wealth that Michael Burry has to his name, I probably wouldn't be here. I just want to let you know that. I probably wouldn't be opening up a Discord. Just want to let you know that. I think he's got some private Discord. You got to pay like $50 a year. No. Sorry. $50 a month. I don't know what he does there, how often he posts, but yeah. I mean, if I ever had his wealth, I don't think you'd be seeing too much of old Josh, but yeah, LPTH, we're going to put on our watch list for this afternoon, and that is the reason why GameStop is up, though, Mike. So good shout there. Let's see what else we got, though, here. You Amy down right now, getting beat up a bit. Just big sell-off from this morning's gap. I got out on the AREC this morning. I swung this from Friday afternoon into the weekend. I wish I got out at pre-market, but still walked away with like plus 4 or 5% on it. I was all right with it. Definitely happier now because look at where it is here at this point. So pretty decent exit in the grand scheme of it. Can't go broke taking a profit. All right, we got a weird watch list here because there is a lot that is up and there is a lot that is down. Like MP right now is down big. U-Trade, not really near the lows as much. Ondis, that looks pretty decent for an intraday short. Not to necessarily swing that as a short, but potential day trade. Listen, if we got Rocket Lab on our list already because of that ETF, all right, I'll add ONDS on the short side. That MP trade was looking pretty decent there. I like that actually a lot. MP. Don't need to add them all, right? We don't need to add them all. If they're all making a similar move and they're all on the loser side down enough to begin with already, really at that point, it comes down towards like the long-term graph. NVTS is down today, but it's in thick consolidation. MP is a little bit closer to those recent wicks and lows. I like that as a short. Ondis doesn't really have much support here, just broke below it today. So that seems to be in a little bit of a free fall right now. All right. Anything else here, folks? Looking good? Up, down, left, right, more than 5%. I mean, let me know if anything that you like is out there. SMR looks pretty good as a short. OKLO. What the hell's going on here, guys? I mean, the SPY's at the high of the day, but you got so many trades at the lows right now. That's like odd. Intel's the low of the day today. Bitcoin mining stocks the low of the day right now. AMD's the low, near the low of the day right now, even. Like, really freaky. It's pretty odd. Like, what the hell is holding this market up so well? Aside from maybe Apple. Aside from like me. So at that point, maybe we just kind of prioritize Apple, right? We kind of go back to the gainer side there. You know, we got the AAPU, we got the Apple Trade Common. All right, there we go. I'd rather focus more on the way up anyway. The markets are at the freaking high. So, you know, unless if we get massive sell-off just out of thin air, you know, I'd rather at least focus more on some longs. Sharon saying Meta. Yeah. Yeah, it's up 2% though. You know, Apple's up 3, so a tiny amount more. But either way, NVIDIA has so much more percentage strength within the S&P 500. So I'm like just wondering, like, why is NVIDIA kind of flat, but the markets are ripping? Microsoft is up 1%. I mean, so there are some things that are up, but I mean, there's a lot on the loser side as well. It's just like kind of odd to see. So we'll kind of prioritize Apple for right now. I like that there. All right. So again, if you're joining me in class coming on up, we're going to post that link one more time for you there, just in the chat board. So just go right there and just join us coming up for 3:05 Eastern. We're going to continue with the Phase 2 stock course, our next class. We're going to be talking about trade targets and expectations. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there otherwise. Now, hey, again, if you're just a non-student, if you're just a trial member testing our room out for the week, you're going to have Rich back on the mic for audio. You still get full audio here going into the close, just more of the commentary, more of the scanning around. But you know, keep in mind, again, as a trial member, this is just kind of like a quick week to see, hey, is this something that works for me? As you know, Doug the trader, as Jonathan the trader, as Ryan the trader, a lot of our trial members testing a room out here. Ken, I see from England. So that's just where I'll say it's not for everybody, but that's ultimately where we want you to be active and keep your eyes on the chat, listen to what we're calling out, see, like, okay, they did make that iceberg call out, did pop from that level. That is pretty interesting. The more of that you kind of sense, then you'll realize, I think that this is for me, right? So today's only Monday. We hope that you enjoy your full time with us up until the end of this week. And we'll be back at least coming up later on at 3 o'clock for audio. And then most of our students will at least be with me in class. But I'll get Fausto back on the mic tomorrow morning. I'll get myself back here tomorrow as well. And then for all of us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc., popping up lower left one more time. At Cyber Trading You, just make sure to be a friend and tell a friend that we got a YouTube channel here. We also got an X, Twitter, and a Facebook, and a TikTok, and a LinkedIn, and everything else. But absolutely go right to at Cyber Trading You on X and on YouTube, and make sure to follow and subscribe there. And that way you could be more in tune with our day-to-day doings, at least on social. But otherwise, best of luck trading going into the close, folks. I look forward to seeing all of our students in just a bit.